Looking to catch up on the latest Star Wars books? Try listening to them on audio, featuring sound effects and music directly from the movies. Star Wars audiobooks are the definitive listening experience. From brand new audiobooks such as Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire, and Star Wars Myths and Fables, to our blockbuster movie tie-in editions, you'll have plenty to keep you entertained. Start listening wherever audiobooks are sold.
This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is Vanessa Marshall, Harrison Dula from Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coffee with Kenobi show number. Are you ready for this? 299?
Oh, we're that close, huh?
Yeah, well, about that. We were so close to 300. So this should be a monumental episode of Coffee with Kenobi. It is our Triple Force Friday show. As we are recording this live, Cory and I are in the silver. What is this? The Silver Beast. We got a truck. And
it's not the Millennium Falcon.
It's not the Millennium Falcon, but it's about as big as it.
Yeah.
And we're cruising around looking for some Star Wars toys. We've got the Mandalorian, we've got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and we've got, of course, the Rise of Skywalker merchandise. This should be an incredibly exciting experience.
It should be, yeah.
But, oh, by the way, I am here with my good friend and co-host for the show, Cory Clubb.
Yes, thank you for having me on in your ginormous vehicle here. It's wonderful.
You bet. Tell us what's going on, man. We know the history of this, but tell us kind of briefly. Well, let's stay where we're at, and then we'll go backwards.
So we just left Walmart.
Yes.
And we were driving around, kind of talking, kind of plotting and planning, if you will. Original idea was this. We'll go hang out at a coffee shop, get some fuel on ourselves, and we'll hit the stores and see what's going on. The hardest part, I think, so far is there's been not a lot of hubbub. I mean, for our area, there was no official, releases at any of the stores for Target or Walmart in our area, but we were able to possibly, drive 2 hours away if we wanted to drive that time period and experience that. But we didn't. And I think that's interesting about this is we kind of been talking about it. This just doesn't feel right.
In 1999, The Phantom Menace came out to incredible amounts of hoopla that you can't even possibly imagine. And they had massive midnight Toys R Us, Target, Walmart events where you could go and be the first to get these action figures. There were walls and walls of them. It was glorious. Episode 2, they kind of slowed down with that. Didn't really have much. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, it was on again like Donkey Kong, and it was crazy, amazing fun. There were things everywhere. There were exclusive red Darth Vaders, exclusive clone troopers at Target only. They had so many things. It was a part of Star Wars. And then we fast forward to The Force Awakens, and that was when Force Friday really became what it is, or what it was. And you and I and Tom went to Target, and we waited in line for an hour and a half. There was all kinds of people there.
It wasn't a huge event. I mean, there
were rows and rows of merchandise, all kinds.
Totally. And then, that was my first Force Friday.
Yeah, and then
as Coffee with Kenobi.
That's right, for all of us. And then we went, and it was time for Rogue Friday, where they had the Rogue One stuff. And that was epic because I got to be in that Target commercial. They were promoting it, and they were having, fans be a part of these commercials to advertise this event. Then we have The Last Jedi. We went to Toys R Us for that, too. All kinds of merch, exclusive posters.
Yeah, it was like T-shirts. I mean, that's the thing too is there's always been something, right? Even in the wave of online retailing kind of making its boom, there's always been something accessible.
Yes, and then for Solo, there was a big hoopla for that, but it wasn't big. It was a big phenomenon for Solo being released. Denny's had me out to California to debut that commercial. We tried that Denny's special menu. They had the Denny's
card trading
Target
stuff.
Or the Denny's solo cards, trading cards.
That was fun.
You and I and Tom did a Facebook Live from Denny's.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Had a blast, laughed, joked, traded cards, got the cup toppers. It was great. But then we went to all these different toy stores and nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. So then we get to where we are now at Triple Force Friday, the products we talked about at the beginning of this show. And there seem to be no events going on. Now, if you're at Disney Springs, at Disney World, or at California at Disneyland, they've got stuff there. I asked Target on Twitter, the official handle from the Coffee with Kenobi official Twitter feed, and they said we'll be opening at 8 a.m. on Friday. So no midnight thing.
Yep.
Then I contact Walmart's PR and I say, hey, we're in Illinois. You have a program that says you can put in your zip code in your state and it will tell you where the Star Wars events are going to be, but it's not working for me. Can you tell me what in Illinois is going to have Star Wars stuff? So they responded less than an hour, which is great.
Yeah.
With 3 Walmarts, count them, 3 Walmarts total in all of the state of Illinois, including the Chicagoland area, are having an event with buttons and posters and giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you and I were to go to that, we'd have to drive a couple hours,
Yep.
get a chance to buy the merchandise, then drive 2 hours home, and then maybe get home at 3 in the morning. So that really isn't doable for a professional who has to work the next day.
Right.
So we went to the Walmart here, where we knew there was nothing going on, just to see if there were places. We went to the Target. There's not even a place where stuff's going out. Cory, what's going on?
I don't know, honestly. And you mentioned that we could have driven 2 hours away to be part of an event, and that would have been possible, right? That could have been doable. But I think the other thing about Force Friday is the fact that on a Friday, a lot of folks have to go to work, make a living, and have other plans during the day. And the whole point of kind of going in the midnight release hour is the excitement. And yes, you're going to be tired the next day and whatnot, but I think it's exciting to do it that way if you can have access to it. But, I mean, I don't know, it just seems odd to not have something in our area and be able to join that event. And I don't know, I guess it seems it's disheartening, to say the least.
It is immensely disheartening. This is the last film in the Skywalker saga, the last one. Since 1977 till now, we're wrapping up this epic movie. And
don't hit those deer.
Yeah, there are actually deer crawling across the street from where we are, so we're going to go. There's another one. How about that?
Well,
there's always
more
deer in this spot. Yeah. Go ahead, Bambi. Okay, Bambi's looking for Force Friday.
Oh, the third one. Oh, my.
You're not going to be able to find any.
This is the most exciting we had all night, folks.
This is more than we've seen. We haven't even seen porgs, but we've seen deer. So we're going to drive slowly. Okay, this is very exciting. Okay, I think we're safe. The Skywalker saga comes to an end. You want there to be a massive explosion. I mean, one of the greatest things about Star Wars for me in my lifetime, and I think you support this as well, Cory, is going to wait in line and talk with fellow fans and have a great time experiencing and anticipating getting your hands on that new merchandise, seeing that massive wall of new Star Wars things with the brand new shiny designs and packages, and that excitement of, there's a lot out, you don't know what everything that's going to be there.
Yeah.
Funko Pops, 3 3/4, Black Series, vehicles, games, toys, coffee creamer, yogurts, Porsches, whatever.
Yeah.
So much stuff that you want to see and experience, and we're being denied that. Like, we're actually being denied one of the biggest things that has made Star Wars hum and purr for all these years. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with it at all.
Yeah, you mentioned standing in line with our fans and stuff, and, just talking and talk, and what are people excited to get. And we were doing that and getting excited because, for a couple reasons, like, we knew ahead of time, obviously with this digital age, we can actually go ahead and see things that are going to be for sale and whatnot. But it's always like, okay, I got my eye on a couple of these other things, and I'm curious to know what else is available. It's that surprise factor. It's that, you walk around the corner of the display and you say, oh, I didn't expect this. Oh, this looks even better in person. I'm going to get one of these. It's that excitement about holding it in your hands, Dan. I think that's what you're talking about, that nostalgia of just living in the moment and going to my computer screen at midnight and making a click does not put me there.
No, that's the thing. We thought maybe we'll just do a show while we're surfing online at midnight looking for stuff. And that's fun and great, but you do it, and then you don't get it for a couple of days, and
right.
Eventually you do, and you still get that joy and excitement. But living in that moment with your friends and talking about the hauls you got as you're getting in the car, being excited, in the thrill of the hunt, the thrill of the chase, that to me, that's the fun of collecting. And there was none of that for Force Friday, at least for me, at least for where we are, and I think a lot of you are experiencing the same thing. Now, if you're one of the select few in an area where they have things, well, I think that is wonderful. I am envious and excited for you. I wish we could be sharing that along with you, but that does not seem to be the case. Now, we're kind of Debbie Downers about this, but there's legitimate reason for that. But I think there's plenty to be excited about. And let's just say, all things being equal, Cory, what is it you would be on the hunt for if that was a possibility for us this evening?
Yeah, this is something we talked about on our Patreon show, too, a little bit. And just being excited about the event coming up. I know that was marked on our calendars for a long time, and that's not only the just regular film series that's being wrapped up, but this is new stuff launching, video games, a new TV series, all at the same time. So it's really lucrative, I think, to be able to have such 3 different types of Star Wars events being kind of melded into one accumulative release. I think it's really cool they did it that way. So that's even more exciting. It's not just a film, it's a video game and a TV series. And that just gives us more items to look at, more categories and more excitement. But I would definitely all for the Mandalorian stuff. I've been excited for that since day one. I actually had a reminder on Facebook today. Jon Favreau had put out the quick rundown of what the Mandalorian would be about. Was a year ago today. Interesting enough.
Oh, really?
His little snippet of it says the Mandalorian in yellow, and it has the kind of quick little, I think it's something like a warrior of blah blah blah. It kind of gives the idea of the setting and whatnot, giving us a quick glimpse of what's to come in this November. So that alone, I think, is exciting for me to see some of that new merchandise out there. And seeing that, again, this is all still new stuff to us. We see new characters for the Rise of Skywalker. We see new costumes, new molds, things like that. So it's always fun to be able to see that stuff on the shelves. And like you said, we were looking through perusing the list here, the full list, and every store seems to have something a little bit more unique, a little bit more different. And I think that's part of the hunt, is going through and seeing what's exclusive to this store, what's exciting to get, and see what is available. I
figured you would be out for the Mandalorian 6-inch Black Series figure. Is that true?
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
And then, are you interested in any of the Funko Pops? There's quite a few of them.
See, that's the other thing too. The Funko Pops. I've taken a back seat for Funko. I mean, I love Funko. I still have some. They've kind of outdone themselves a little bit sometimes, in the fact that there's so many. But then again, that's something I saw them online. I want to see them in person, and that's what
make a decision.
Make a decision, exactly. Hold my hands and go, you know what? I need to make a quick decision, or a quick decision in the moment there, and I think holding your hands and having that event makes that possible.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because I mean, if my son tonight, because he and I, after school tomorrow, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go to Target and I guess Walmart and sort of see if things are out, if they're hopefully it hasn't all been picked over. And that's, like you said, that's the challenge of us as working during the day. I couldn't take the day off to go look for this stuff, even though it would have been awesome to do so. It just wasn't in the cards for me. So he and I are going to go looking, but he said, Daddy, what are you most looking forward to? And I'm looking forward to seeing Poe's new X-Wing.
Yeah.
That big, beautiful orange X-Wing. Now, if the price point is what they say it is, I'm not sure if I will get it or not. But I want to see it. I want to hold it in my hands. Right. I want to see the weight of the package. I want to see if this is something I think would be a nice addition to my collection in my office. Where will it fit? All that kind of stuff. See it alongside the other figures. All that good stuff. I do want to say real quickly, I want to thank the good folks at cufflinks.com. They're having a promotional for Force Friday, 20% off. You can see the code all on social media and on our Twitter feed. You can see that special code that I'd like you to check out. They were kind enough to send me a couple of ties They're both bluish and gray. One has the Falcon on it, and the other has this nice paisley with Vader and TIE fighters and X-Wings on it. It's kind of discreet, but very elegant. And I want to thank them again for sending that out to me in honor of Force Friday. That has been one of the great things about Force Friday so far for me.
Cool. I think one thing I brought up too, and we'll wrap up with this, but we were walking out of, I think, Target, and I said, what are we doing, Dan? Are we crazy? Like, we're middle-aged men with families, with jobs, like, we're complaining. Like you said, Mitch, we're kind of Debbie Downers about the fact that, like, oh, this is rough, this is no fair. But what do we have to complain about, I guess, as far as, what is this thing, what are we doing? I kind of question that sometimes, the fact, like, are we crazy enough to stay out to midnight and do this? I mean, it's part of the fun, but also it's like, what are your thoughts around it being just the fact that, I guess I don't know how to put the words together, but like the fact that, like, are we out of our league? Are we just,
are you saying, are we aging
much?
Ourselves out of things? Is that what you're
I don't know if it's aging ourselves out, but just the fact that is this crazy? I mean, are we walking around the stores and getting upset for nothing?
Well, it's just fun. I mean, Star Wars is always about nostalgia and the fun we've had over the years since we've been doing the show, of the events and experiences because of Star Wars, and we like that feeling. We want more of it. So I think that's a big part of it. You know what I mean? So that it's pretty normal. I will say, besides the Poe X-Wing, I'm also excited to get on Disney's website and order the exclusive Magic Band, the Rise of Skywalker Magic Band. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't seen that yet.
It's pretty cool. It's black and it looks really, really nice. So that might be one of the first places I go. So I don't know. Here we are. We were deciding if we wanted to stay online and shop or try to do more stuff. We've been in a couple stores. We're both getting sleepy. We just don't want to stay up all night just to click a couple links and then. Yeah, we want to enjoy the fruits of our labors and share them with you. So we'll circle back on this.
Yeah, let's know what happened and what we decide.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead and take a break. This is Coffee with Kenobi.
Greetings. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi.
Looking to catch up on the latest Star Wars books? Try listening to them on audio, featuring sound effects, music, and top-notch narrators from the movies. Looking to catch up on the latest Star Wars books? Try listening to them on audio, featuring sound effects, top-notch narrators, and music directly from the movies. Star Wars audiobooks are the definitive listening experience. From Luke Skywalker to Kylo Ren to Admiral Akbar, you'll recognize all of your favorite characters. Listen to brand new stories in the Star Wars universe like Thrawn Treason by Timothy Zahn. Can't make it to Galaxy's Edge this year? Just listen to Galaxy's Edge Black Spire by Delilah S. Dawson and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge A Crash of Fate by Zoraida Cordova. With Star Wars audiobooks, you'll have plenty of Star Wars listening to keep you entertained. Available wherever audiobooks are sold. Now, if you can make it to Galaxy's Edge, I would suggest MEI and Mousefan Travel. Their signature service and expert advice will help clients maximize their vacation time and dollar. Their no-cost, no-obligation quote when you use the service is extraordinary, and even better, they proactively adjust the booking if the rate goes down. They help me with the show, with travel with my family, all kinds of stuff. I recommend them to my friends all the time, and everyone always comes back very happy. They will help your family enjoy everything Galaxy's Edge and the Disney theme parks and the cruise lines have to offer, help plan every detail, and will share invaluable tips. Be sure to go to our affiliate link, which can be found in the show notes, on the front of our webpage, or on social media, and sign up for a free, no-obligation quote. You'll have the best vacation possible and help out Coffee with Kenobi in the process. If you want to help out Coffee with Kenobi on a more regular monthly basis and get great content in the process, I suggest going to our Patreon page. Before I explain that a little bit further, I want to thank our Patreon contributors right now at this very moment who've done so much for this show. Jason Hall, Dennis Keithley, David Nicely, Jeff Ellis, Colby Mead, Yancey Evans, Ross Halliban, Frank Mulder, Alexander Moylan, Melinda Wolf, Aaron Harris, Chris Gavarka, Angela Sauce, Alex Procascio, Tim Van Swol, Ian Thompson, Rebecca Raven, Simbat Detadarian, Christine Turk, Sean Reed, Dan Ream, Brian Harding, Blake Weaver, Jim Capron, Caroline Maselli, Chris Metz, LJ Souter, Thea Selby, Daz Davies, Christian Dale, Brian McKinney, Jared Cantor, BJ Smith, Eric Struthers, Nick Deco, and Mark Suter. And believe it or not, there are even more supporters as well. If you are a member of our CWK Patreon support page, what you are doing is you're helping the show in so many ways. The podcast gets expensive with travel, with equipment, with internet fees, microphones, and all the things that go into the show. It helps us so much. I can't even tell you, but what I can tell you is when you support our show, you get something out of it as well. You get access to CWK Pro, which is our weekly podcast, not heard anywhere else. It comes out every Sunday morning. It's myself, Cory, Clubb, and Tom Gross talking about the latest in popular culture. Of course, we look at Star Wars. Of course, we look at the movies. We've been talking a lot about the Joker film, and there's a lot to dissect there. And it's fun. It's fun to put on our different hats to analyze other genres besides Star Wars. But of course, Star Wars is always at the front of our hearts. And there's some behind-the-scenes stuff as well. If you have any questions or want to learn more, go to www.patreon.com/coffeewithkenobi to sign up today. And 10% of your monthly contributions go directly to the St. Jude Children's Hospital. Support these amazing children and their incredibly brave families. Thank you so much. We are back, and it has been a couple of days. First, let's bring Core Clubb back on the show. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Very well.
We've seen each other a lot lately.
I know, it's been kind of cool, kind of a renaissance. We went to Force Friday together, which of course we had that live recording from the beginning of the show. And then you and I went and saw Joker, which we talked about on CWK Pro at great length. This was a blast. I had people over for my birthday party, and you were one of your sons came over, Keaton, and for the bonfire, so that was fun too. Yeah, we've had some good times. We had a great time at Force Friday, even though it seemed like the Force was against us. Well, we had teased what are we going to do? Are we going to stay up all night and shop? How are we going to get our Force Friday stuff? So hey, tell us what happened.
Wow, yeah. So last we heard, we were kind of, like you said, wallowing in our despair a little bit, and it was Friday. That was Thursday night, and Friday morning came around. And we both talked about how we both go to work. But we do both Dan and I both go to the same gym, and we kind of had met up there that morning, just having like we normally do on a Friday, just having cross paths. And I said, "Hey, how do you feel?" And I know that I jumped on my phone real quick just to see what was out there, and I went to Disney Store and saw some stuff. And just kind of like, okay, cool, it's out there. I still want to get my hands on it. And I thought I'm going to go after the gym after we get done here with my oldest son, Wesley, and just see the local Walmart there and see if there's what's out there. And so we finished up the gym and went out to Walmart and cruised in there. And there was a small aisle display set up, and it had some 3 3/4 figures in. On the display, the lightsabers, a bunch of lightsabers all around it, and some Black Series 6-inch figures, and I'm trying to think of some other things. Oh, the Galaxy Heroes figurines, like the
5-inch Galaxy of Hero figures.
Yeah, Galaxy Heroes. So I saw those, and none of it. I was looking for Mandalorian, didn't find it, and I was like, man, this seems so odd that there's nothing here. And I kind of peeked down the aisle and saw that the section that's normally Star Wars was vacant, total vacant, gone. I was like, oh, they must have just moved everything to this little case here, or just kind of putting it here for now. I thought, man, gosh, we'll have to keep looking, And we had to keep moving because our day was just getting started. So we went back home, and it wasn't more than an hour later I got a text from you.
Yeah, I went early in the morning. I must have got there probably a half hour after you left, right before school started, and they had everything looked pretty fresh and untouched. I'm like, whoa! So I went through and I found everything, including all the Black Series figures and the Mandalorian figures. So I took a picture and sent it to you, and I'm like, hey, do you want this? And you were like, yeah,
yeah, totally. I think it was so cool that you were able to get that. I think I'd put something online that I was really kind of feeling discouraged. just kind of bummed out. Just from because I know it's just great fun to go out and do that with you and Tom and just getting that experience. We didn't get that necessarily, so
No,
I was
we
just
didn't.
feeling that way. I was kind of feeling bummed out. But you'd kind of found that you'd messaged me and said, "Hey, you want this?" I was like, "Yes, please." And I've kind of felt like it was a huge relief. I was kind of like, "Okay, good." I did get something because I did jump online again when I got home and just thought, well, I'll just go online and order something, and everything was sold out that I want. I wanted Mandalorian 6-inch Black Series and everything was sold out. I mean, you could order it. It would take 1 to 2 months to get in. I thought, no, it just doesn't seem right. The hunt is on, I feel like I'm a Star Wars fan. You kind of have to kind of earn your toys or your badge in a sense, and just like, I just like that's how I like to do it. I like to go out and find things, and I still kind of go out and peek around. But I was able to get it, and I appreciate that. And it was cool because I know that you are a big collector as well, and I know you're looking to add some things to your collection, and that was one of them. So I know you thought of me first, so I appreciate that.
Of course, dude. And honestly, like I don't really buy the Black Series. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had some, I sold them, and I like them fine, but there's only so much room. And if I collected everything that I liked or kind of liked, I would be financially bankrupt. And I don't want to do that to myself. But after looking at it and having it in my office, just kind of on hold until you and I made the swap.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. So it was like hard to get rid of this thing, but it went to a good home and I'm glad. And I loved your unboxing.
Yeah.
With the boys. That was great fun as well.
Yeah, that kind of came out of them just they're very excited about Mandalorian series. They're excited about Disney Plus. And I told them that's what I'm looking for. Wesley's he's 14 now, and he's kind of in that same vein of like, I want to get something too, Dad, and that was one he was looking for. And I said, well, if we find 2 of them, we'll grab one each. And so we only have 1 right now. And he's like, are you going to open it, Dad? Are you going to open it? And I do have other characters, Black series and some Funko Pops that I have not opened, and they're still in package. And they've always kind of like questioned that, like, well, why not open these, Dad? Like, what's the point? Like, and I was like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right, And I have some things I do have open, but they convinced me and said, let's do like a cool video. And actually, Tom's video kind of got me to do it. He did his unboxing for the Black series, the mystery box, which I thought was really cool. And I thought, you know what, that'd be cool to do unbox. Let's do it. Let's have fun. And so we did that, and the kids really liked it. I think the figure itself is really posable and really cool. I had a Boba Fett and IG-88 that that is already opened up on my shelf here, and was able to like grab those. Hey, here you go. Play with these guys for a while, and I played for about an hour or so. Some of those characters. I had a Kylo Ren up here, and they're all kind of they said they needed Kylo Ren because they needed a bounty to hunt as bounty hunter. So I was like, go for it. So that was big fun for them to hear them play that and have fun with that.
That's so cool. That's really cool. So to answer the question that people were asking, I didn't stay up all night to try to order anything online because, like you, I like the thrill of the hunt and the chase.
Yeah.
And I was very disappointed and disheartened that we didn't get more of that. I know I'm not the only one who felt that way in our community, and I don't know what the reasons are. I'm sure they're valid from an economic perspective, and I respect that. But just as a fan, and as I said at the top of the show, since this is the last film in the Skywalker saga, I want a 3 3/4 inch action figure that has the name The Rise of Skywalker on the card. And the vintage collection is fine. I bought 3 of them. I bought Zora Bliss. I bought the Sith Jet Trooper, and I bought the Knight of Ren. I bought all 3 of those. Those are the ones I wanted. The rest of them have already been out in some capacity. We had another Rey, which the sculpt on the Rey is really, it's very lifelike. It's like almost uncanny how much it is, as well as the Poe and the Luke X-Wing and Lando and this gift card disguise. Cool, but I didn't buy those because I already have those figures. I sort of made a thing. Well, I'm really going to buy figures that I just don't have. Or I don't have them in that costume or that outfit.
I like that.
Yeah. So I got them. This was the next day, as I said, when I went and got your Mandalorian figure. I got them. I got the character from Jedi Fallen Order. I bought his Black Series figure, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to bring that back in or not. But I bought it just because it was there. I like the look of the lightsaber, and I saw Matt Martin talking about it, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So that's kind of fun as well. And then my other big purchase is the Poe Dameron X-Wing. I got that on Target.com.
Yeah.
In fact, I just recently got that, and I did a video unboxing, which people will see fairly soon. It's taking a little more editing than I expected because we had a lot of fun with it and started playing with it and all that good stuff. But it's a gorgeous vehicle. It's big. It's very detailed, and I'm still lamenting that I don't have the Rise of Skywalker formal card like I do for every movie that Star Wars has ever done, including Solo and Rogue One. But for now, we'll make do those 5-inch figures. That you talked about. The Galaxy's Heroes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mason, I got for Mason, I got him Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, the First Order Jet Trooper.
Okay.
And they're great.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. They got a little bit of that anime style, like the animated show. But I love them. And I said, hey, Mason, you just want to start collecting these 5-inch figures? He's like, yeah, but I might like the other ones too. I said, well, yeah, whatever you want, buddy. Save your pennies. But
that's right.
But they're marvelous. And the Vader has kind of that McQuarrie/red tinted lens look that he has on Rebel Season 2. And that was maybe the most impressive thing besides the Mandalorian 6-inch figure.
Okay. Yeah. You like the Mandalorian figure then?
I do. Yeah, he's fun. He's fun. I'm good with not having him, but yeah, I think he's great. That armor is growing on me more and more. I mean, it's that iconic armor anyway, but that kind of those drab colors are very interesting.
Yeah, it's a great figure. I'm looking at it right now, actually, on my desk. I've got him posed up with his rifle, but it's exciting to see this stuff come out too. It makes it more real. I think we're getting closer and closer to the films. The TV series, the video game. It always feels good to finally, okay, good, we're in Star Wars season. It feels like we're getting somewhere. But I think there's to some expense, there's less this time around. I mean, I know I have
less. Much less.
I think also I've gone back to the stores and I thought, oh, maybe they're restocked by now. It's been a couple weeks. And so I want to make sure that, we're just seeing what's out there. I mean, do you still go back into the store and just try to see what's out there?
I always do. Even when I know there's nothing out there. It's just part of my life.
Absolutely.
I have it for 20, 30 years. I will say that Friday, not midnight, of course, what you and I did, we've been talking about and you've heard live. But Friday, I got Mason after school, and he and I went on a Star Wars tour run for a brand new thing. And that was wonderful. It was glorious. I was talking to Deanna on the phone that night, and she said, is this everything you dreamed? I'm like, yes. And then we went to a couple Targets. We went to a Walmart, went to a couple of Halloween stores, and we had the absolute best time. And that was even without a lot of the hoopla and the hype and in the ceremony that I was really hoping for, that I got from episodes 1, 3, 7, 8, Rogue One. They didn't have it, but we sort of made our own. It wasn't as great as it could have been, but he didn't know that. All he knew is that he had to say, we're going to buy new Star Wars stuff. And he and I had the best time. So once again, Star Wars gives us great opportunities with family and friends. And we just, I think we speak from our hearts and from a place of good when we said we just wanted more of it. And we just wanted more. And we didn't get it the way we hoped we would and the way we were used to.
Yeah, I think that's just it. We wanted to make a memory and weren't able to do that, and that's just kind of stinks. So I get it. I mean, that's the way it's going to go from now on. Like you mentioned, it's kind of this digital age of buying things online. It's just kind of overtaken things. So yeah, I mean, if we live closer to a Disney store or something like that, we'd definitely be out there doing it.
Yeah, for sure. So let us know how your Triple Force Friday was. Keep sharing your pics with us. Keep sharing your CWK office pics with us. Hashtag CWK office pic.
Yeah, I'll get a picture of my Mandalorian.
Do. You should. And be sure to check out Cory and Tom's unboxing, as well as my upcoming unboxings, as well of the Poe Dameron X-Wing from the Rise of Skywalker and the Sith Trooper Nerf Blaster that we had a great time playing with. So, hey, Cory, thank you, my friend, for sharing the mic with me again on Coffee with Kenobi, show number 299. Gosh, next week we're going to be on 300, which is pretty fantastic. I do want to give a quick shout out. I didn't get a chance to do this before, and I should have. Randy Theriot, the host of Legends Library, helped me a couple weeks ago with my mixer and my preamp and my microphone, and he is just an unsung hero, and I can't thank him enough for his graciousness, his generosity of time, spirit, and friendship, and his incredible knowledge with sound in working these boards and helping this podcast sound the way that it does. So, Randy, thank you again so much for helping, for sure. So, Cory, let us know again where everybody can find you.
Sure, absolutely. You can get online and check me out on Twitter at Cory Clubb is where you'll find me there, and you'll find posting most of my things on there for Star Wars related stuff. But if you can send me an email, feel free to reach out, CoryC at coffeewithkenobi.com.
And of course, you can find Coffee with Kenobi each and every week. I want to thank our CWK sponsors. We've got One Nation Coffee, MEI Mousefan Travel, and of course, Penguin Random House Audio. We will be back next week with much more Star Wars talk and conversation. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and check us out on Pinterest. Subscribe to our show on iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Leaving an iTunes review means the world and helps more people get to hear Coffee with Kenobi. And speaking of that, if you really want to help out the show, help us keep the lights on and help us keep the coaxium in the Millennium Falcon flowing, then go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with Kenobi, where you can hear exclusively our weekly show, CWK Pour-Over, hosted by myself, Mr. Cory Clubb, that you're listening to now, and our CWK newsman, Tom Gross. It's every Sunday. It's a 30-minute show about popular culture, behind the scenes of Coffee with Kenobi, and our analysis of Star Wars as well. And 10% of monthly contributions go directly to the St. Jude Children's Hospital. Thank you again so much, everybody. Until next time, this is the podcast you're looking for.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here. Move along. Move along.
Looking to catch up on the latest Star Wars books? Try listening to them on audio, featuring sound effects and music directly from the movies. Star Wars audiobooks are the definitive listening experience. From brand new audiobooks such as Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire, and Star Wars Myths and Fables, to our blockbuster movie tie-in editions, you'll have plenty to keep you entertained. Start listening wherever audiobooks are sold.